So a few weeks ago, you talked about Rocky was on, and we talked a little bit about the Rocky things. I've been waiting to ask you this question for a few days, and I didn't want to ask you. I didn't want to preface it beforehand or anything like that. I didn't want you to know that it was coming. So I think you texted me and said Rocky 4's on. I said, oh, cool, that's great. And then I think I did not turn it on or anything like that. But Rocky 4, great movie. A lot of people like it. A lot of people think that's the best Rocky. I'm not here for that debate. So I decided the other day, I was like, okay, I got nothing to do. I don't want to watch West Virginia basketball because I don't want to be disappointed. So what can I do with those 2 hours? I decided to turn on Netflix and see if Rocky was available. Rocky was one of the movies. So I watched Rocky. Now, most people think of Rocky as a sports movie, a boxing movie. But I want to ask you this question. Is Rocky actually a romantic thriller where it's part sports, but the primary premise is actually about him and the girl, who now I can't remember her name. Adrian, yes. Is the movie actually more about them coming together than the actual boxing aspect of it?
Yeah, certainly a blend of both. And it's interesting because back then movies were a whole lot simpler. Now, like shows, movies, they have like 3, 4 different plots that are all intertwined within one another. So it seems like back in those days it was definitely a lot simpler. There was always kind of like the romantic side and then the other side.
Because he's trying hard to like he's showing up at her office every day.
Right.
She's like has nothing to do with him. She's super shy. Like it's interesting. I don't know that I ever thought of that before, but then I was like, wait, this is about Adrian and Rocky more than Rocky and Apollo. It just so happens to be, and even the ending is about Adrian and Rocky. And then in Rocky 2, they immediately get married. Anyway, I digress. Just thought I'd throw that bombshell out there.
Interesting. May have to rewatch that again now that I know that it's on Netflix, because it's been a while.
What do you think about speed dating? Right, hard transition from marriage to dating. You met today's guest from a mentor speed dating session. Can you understand enough in a session like that? Like what are your takeaways on in a scenario like that?
Yeah, I mean it's fast paced, and it was really I guess telling my story, my expertise. My particular topic was how to leverage your network, how to use leverage LinkedIn, that kind of thing. So,
so you were pitching to him, not him to you?
It was a mixture of both? Yeah, it was a mixture of both. And then it was just having the opportunity for the people in attendance to ask particular questions. But as you know, and you and I are both really good at it, just in the sense of just some crazy stories in terms of how we've been able to grow our network to the size that we have based on leveraging different tools and opportunities that are available. But it's one of those things. Pitch competition, speed events. There's always, and I guess it's good in a way, right? When you leave things on the table, you don't get to complete the conversation. So anything that makes you want more is a good thing, as opposed to you looking at your clock saying, when is this thing going to end?
As long as you follow up, which most people don't.
That's right.
So it's actually a good way to be like, oh, I didn't do this. Quick tease. Now I get to email you and set up whatever next. So,
and it Ikeobi, was because Ikeobi, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, because at that event, we were able to talk briefly about Ikeobi's what his venture is, what he's looking to do. So this was a great way for us to dive into that, to learn more about it, because it really is. It's really, really fascinating what he has going on, and I think that everyone will feel the same way. So that's
give us the quick rundown. Yeah.
So we're creating something called Rooa. It's an interactional data storage platform. Our goal is to house the presence of the human population on Earth as much as we can. We're going to be storing interactional data from different platforms and turning your presence and your data into an entity that can be able to survive different issues that come with being a human being. It's going to be integrated with several virtual reality and artificial intelligence aspects, and it is a Web3 based platform, so it will also integrate all the benefits of the coming age of technology and make sure that we are inclusive in regards to those aspects as well. We are working on several company-wide technologies that will be integrated with the platform as well, and that will sort of assist people in realizing the futuristic aspect of what we're creating in regards to company-wide technology, silent technology, and different sort of applications and systems that will be integrated into the present storage platform that we will be creating.
This is where I like to take a back seat to this, because I want to hear Zach. As soon as anytime you mention Web3, Zach is going to be like, he's been waiting for the definition of this for a while. But I mean, the whole thing is super fascinating in terms of where this is going. So Zach, I'm going to let you dive in on.
So I don't have a Web3 question yet. So have you watched the show on Amazon called Upload?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
I mean, when you were talking about that, that's the first thing that actually came to my mind. So the premise is right before someone passes, they have the ability to, or their manager, someone has the ability to basically take your life and then throw it into the metaverse, if you will. And then they can still converse with that person via Oculus goggles, basically. And it kind of seemed like that in a way, but maybe not. Is that what you're thinking? Are you creating Upload in real life, or where are we on this?
It's not entirely the Upload concept. I've definitely heard people compare it to that concept. And doing some market research and customer discovery, our system, Rooa, is one of a kind in regards to those aspects. There aren't a lot of companies looking to create interactional technology who are looking to build out a system that utilizes those aspects that we are creating. Upload definitely has some, how do I say this, Hollywood aspects to the actual platform we are trying to create. Our systems will be integrating interactional information and creating a virtualized environment that will be housing your presence. But I think the Hollywood virtual and comparative systems that is Upload is not entirely what we are creating, but it definitely has similar aspects.
Before I forget this question, is Rooa, is that an acronym? Does that stand for something, or what's the genesis of that name?
So the Rooa concept came to me when I was actually just creating the platform. It's something that makes you feel that it is identified as you, because you're creating an alternative version of yourself. You're creating a sort of solution that is you. So it's you, it's your solution, it's your platform, it's your environment. So I want people to have that mindset that they are creating something for themselves. It's your data, it's your information. And our goal is to create a platform that stores your interactional information and allows you to directly manage how that's regulated and utilized on our systems.
So could Zack turn himself into the Rock?
I think when it comes to different sort of integrated aspects of people's data, we're going to be specifically regulating how that data compares with other individuals. You'll have your own specific account. You have your own specific account that will be collecting all that information specifically on our platform. So you won't be able to become the Rock per se.
You know, the NBA just released their AI version in their app where a person can, I guess they do, let's take the screen, because I think Ahmad Rashad was the one that did it, right? So they do a 360 view of you, and then they say, what player do you want to be? Okay, I want to be Kobe Bryant. Okay, I'm Kobe Bryant. They take a play of his, but they do it in what I'm wearing at that day, and they make it look like, I'm doing a Kobe Bryant Dunk 3, whatever, Michael Jordan. You know, we're not going to name that current player who's overrated. Can't win with the Lakers, but no, I mean, that would be cool to see that too. So is it for historical reference at later times? Do you so that does it have anything to do with life or death? Does it just have to do with kind of the like, oh, I'm going to review this stuff at a later time, kind of like encyclopedias? Like, where do you see the use case as you're developing this?
So a lot of concepts have been surrounding the idea of a sort of encyclopedia or sort of museum aspect of the platform. But what we are creating is a platform that has that interactional aspect of your personality. There are several aspects of data integrations that we will be utilizing to increase the interactions that your entity will sort of utilize on a daily basis. Our goal is to make sure that individuals who are utilizing our platform are able to still communicate as if they have never left. Text messages, meetings, dates are sort of the things that we are incorporating into our platform, utilizing our different tech aspects and company-wide technologies that we will also be integrating and selling on our platform as well.
What you had mentioned the word selling. So like what from the monetization standpoint, like what things are you selling back to the consumer, or are you selling to who would you be selling to?
So our platform is actually web-based currently. We are still on our sort of mid-early stages of the creation of our platform. So if you do have an Oculus, if you do have a PlayStation virtual headset, if you do have one of those virtual reality headsets, you will be able to utilize our platform web-based. As we keep growing, we plan to start integrating more interactive technology, so you are still able to hold your loved one even if they are passed away. And that is one of the main things that we are trying to sort of integrate and preserve as an interactional data platform. A lot of people have started reviewing the concept and finding ways to sort of improve that aspect. And we are always eager to find new ways to make our entities more interactional with the present humans.
So if I understand right, you could take your text messages. I could take my text messages that I've had with my wife, upload that into your platform. It would learn how I communicate, and then if or when something happened to me, my wife could still communicate with me once I'm gone. Is that accurate?
Currently, our solutions are focusing on social media and interactional information you can collect in that aspect. In the future, we plan on integrating other aspects like text messages and such, but we are asking for our current users who are definitely interested in being sort of the first users and the first onboarders onto our platform to email us at roa@curbcoventures.com or follow me on Instagram at Ikeobi. We will be releasing several updates and several instances of when and what sort of data we will be collecting that allow you to sort of utilize our platform in those specific methodologies. Right now, we are working with Amazon, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and that's the sort of interactional information we will be utilizing currently.
And what are you trying to pull from that?
So data like your likes, your preferences, the people you communicate to on a daily basis, things that you're interested in, things that allow you to sort of grow in that aspect are sort of the data points that we're looking to sort of collect. And with those specific data points, it allows us to sort of refine what it means to be a human. It allows us to dedicate our sort of requirements into different development aspects as to what you prefer on specific days, how you plan to shop, what sort of destinations you prefer to go to. And that sort of allows our AI to build a comprehensive analysis of what you feel and how you would sort of interact if you weren't presently there. And the current development aspects is turning it into a entity storage platform. So people who are sort of trying to utilize their rights as a on social media will sort of allow them to continuously post in that AI developmental aspect. So if you still want to continue posting, you can utilize it in that method. But the majority of the way our platform is meant to be utilized is up to the person, and that comes with sort of terms and conditions that come into play.
I'm trying to wrap I mean, it's fascinating in the sense of it. You can really, my mind is just like, wow, in terms of where all this is going. Zach, do you feel like we live in a simulation now? If not, we're soon going to be living in a simulation.
No,
right?
but so, like, I think like I heard what's that crazy scientist, Neil Tyson deGrasse? Is that his name? Like, I don't mean crazy in a bad way, but like very like gregarious and fun type of guy. I think I heard him say something somewhere. He's like, well, you know, there's like 10 billion of us everywhere, as in like there is me on other planets and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh God, I mean, that's kind of crazy to think about. It's crazy to think as I get older. I don't know, like I am actually quite terrified of dying. And so it's like, you just like, so what happens in that situation? And you don't really know. So then if it is a simulation, I could just restart it like a Mario Kart game. That sounds really appealing and exciting to me. I don't know. Like I always, here's some random Zack like things. Like, do you ever like wonder, like you look at something and you're like, well, that's an ant. If that ant survives a certain amount of time, does it actually like somehow go of like the totem pole of these things? And the last greatest thing is to be a human. And so like, oh, it turns into a bird. And then that bird lives a long enough time, and somehow miraculously it turns into a dog. And then that dog turns into him. You guys are like, this guy's a lunatic. But it's just like, wow, like there was an ant, you know, and I didn't want it, or a spider, you know, on my house. So I killed it. And is that actually a human? It's just weird how all this works. And so is it a simulation? I don't know. It seems like we are definitely attached to these things more and more than ever. Do these things, you know, is this thing going to go away in 20 years? Like, it's hard to think that something is going to be more than this thing that we are so associated with, but that's what you're developing all this off of. Well, what was this before? A pager?
Well, the thing that's fascinating to me is the whole like neurotech that is being developed, where they can just put a layer over your brain. I mean, you have
sure.
I mean, and that within itself is really, really fascinating. Ikeobi,
what do you think? Do you think we're ever gonna? Do you think we're gonna get to a situation where we don't die? Because I remember, like, when I was riding my bike with Eric every weekend, he is the guy, Eric Olson of Array Digital. He's the one who told me to watch Upload. He's only ever told me to watch 2 shows of all time. Upload was one of them. I can't remember what the other one was. They actually were both great. And so he was like, yeah, well, you know, maybe not in our lifetime, but maybe my kids, they're going to be able to basically never die. And I was like, what? Like, you think? He's like, yeah, man, the technology is so great. They're going to figure out how to make it. So either of you guys can respond. Ikeobi, it looked like you were going to say something, but like,
with the advances in technology, the medical field is exploding with new ways to sort of increase the human lifespan. Different things like artificial limbs, integrated aspects of artificial intelligence into the development of different medicines have definitely started increasing human lifespan more. And the next step that we're seeing in the sort of the Web3 and the tech industry is integrating those aspects into our systems as we speak, finding ways for those sort of systems and platforms and aspects of artificial intelligence and technology advancements are sort of going to be integrated into the different lives of the people who are interested in participating in our platform. So yes, eventually we will be able to sort of, how would I put it, live forever. And our platform will sort of start paving the way for those medical advancements of integration of entities into robots or different features or items that allow people to sort of live their life to the fullest that they could.
Yeah, I'm curious of your take. Like one of the use cases I see right away is dementia, Alzheimer's, where you lose that mental capacity to remember things. I really see something like this that either you continue to refresh your memory, or it's a way that you can continue living the life you were before you had this. What do you think is going to? Where do you see the future of that? I mean, it's fascinating.
So, in regards to some medical specific conditions, our platform is primed to sort of start collecting your data in that sort of methodology that'll allow you to start assimilating yourself into our different systems and technologies. So, yes, people with Alzheimer's, people with cancer, people who are not able to live their life to the fullest will be able to start utilizing our platform in that methodology and allowing us to collect their interactional data. So yes, it is a sort of leverage to allow people to sort of live their lives in a much better way and allow them to comfortably communicate with people and go about their day, knowing that there is a platform that allows them to sort of continuously integrate and communicate with their loved ones and live forever in that aspect.
With that being said, will we find a cure for cancer before this stuff actually happens? Because I mean, it kind of seems like at this point, like the technology somehow is going to figure out how to interact with it before the actual way to prevent or cure these things.
Well, I wouldn't say I have the cure for cancer. Some people.
I'm not saying you are, but like
some people have
doesn't seem like anyone does.
That the artificial intelligence backing and the technology that will be backing the platform have that solution in that aspect. But with those other aspects of people who are trying to sort of cure those specific ailments, our platform definitely adds release and a sort of comfortable lifespan, allowing those individuals to live more comfortably, knowing that there is a solution for them.
Are you oh gosh, I just totally are you starting, is that are you eventually going to go to voice and then like avatar type video interactions? Where's the roadmap look like for that?
So currently, with the integrations of Amazon and Facebook and Twitter, we will be collecting some prime interactional information that will allow us to sort of integrate those voice aspects and imaging aspects onto our platform as well. So people who have those systems and people who are already working with things like Amazon Alexa or Google Chrome or Google Voice and such, or the Apple HomePod, we will be able to sort of start integrating those aspects onto the platform as well, into our AI model. Allows for easy integration and allows for the different systems and platforms that we are creating to sort of start collecting the information. And our timeline is sort of intricate in that aspect. We will be incorporating several interactional technologies in regards to how people interact with their AI counterparts, things that will allow people to sort of still feel, touch, hold, and sense that they are currently present, or some of the additional applications and sources that we will be applying to our solution. And it is part of our company-wide technology aspect as well.
I'm curious. Oh, go ahead, Zach.
Well, Tim thought I was going to ask this question a long time ago, so I might as well just ask it. Like, what is Web3?
So Web3 is definitely this new concept that everyone is looking to. In my development aspects, Web3 is anything that's integrated with cryptocurrency, NFTs, blockchain technology that allows people to sort of live in that decentralized manner, easy access to information, reviewing your different applications and such. our platform has those Web3 aspects in regards to sort of utilizing cryptocurrency, NFTs, and decentralized social media and such like that. And that's what we are aiming to sort of create. Different platforms already are converting to Web3. Instagram is a technical Web3 platform. You can now integrate things like MetaMask and such into your Instagram profile, allowing you to actually integrate those Web3 aspects. So a lot of platforms right now are converting to Web3. It's not a thing that's unique to sort of decentralized applications. It's how you incorporate those different systems into your platforms and such.
Yeah, I was curious in terms of like, how did you come up with this idea originally? How did this become your thing that you wanted to pursue?
So I think when I came up with the idea, it was during COVID-19, the early stages of COVID-19. I'm 28 years old, and I had never seen a pandemic before. It was something that was sort of shocking and new to me, and something that I had to experience before. Shutting down the airports, shutting down the schools, having everyone sit at home and sort of watch TV and sort of anticipate the next steps of life, sort of started priming me for that sort of development aspect of our platform. Things like the President of the United States account being sort of shut down and deleted have sort of instigated the development of my application. So that's sort of how Rooa came to fruition.
And then in terms of like your team, I would love to hear about your team because this is some pretty next level stuff. Where do you go? Where do you find talent for this? And can you expand on the team and the engineers that are working on this right now?
So a lot of our team come from our different investment mechanism. We've been utilizing a tool that came from our initial investment called Gusher, and that allowed us to sort of work with a lot of talent that is interested in participating in our application as we currently see. We've worked with several engineers. We've worked with the Davidson team. We've worked with people from the 757 startup group, and they all have vast experiences in working with artificial intelligence, working with interactional data, and sort of working with the technology that will allow us to sort of have that interactional aspect with your systems and your entities. So we have people from Harvard, we have people from Stanford, we have people from Penn State, we have different consultants who have that sort of mindset and development aspects of our solution that have been integrating into our current solution.
It's oftentimes where a new product, a new solution, a service, a business, it could be over a lot of people's heads, and they don't necessarily understand what you're doing maybe early on in the process. Obviously, people involved in Web3 have a better understanding of the project, of the business. But how, in layman's terms, how do you explain it to someone who doesn't grasp any of this, and it's just like, well, Sonny, you're just trying to be like the Jetsons or whatever.
Well, I was, and to expand on that question, Zach, I was curious, like, what are some of the most common responses? So when you went through the whole ICAP process, doing customer discovery stuff, what was some of the most common feedback that you received from the people that you talked to?
I think our MVP is sort of the definition of what our platform is. It's a platform that collects interactional data from different platforms and turns it into a artificial intelligence, machine learning solution that is able to interact with people indefinitely. So that's sort of the basis and the core of our solution. And that's what we sort of address and tell people. It's an interactional database storage platform that allows you to store your interactional information indefinitely. So that's sort of the easiest and layman's term for people. Once they start utilizing our platform, once they start reviewing our solutions, they're able to see the different benefits and the different growth opportunities and different solutions that we are also applying to our platform.
Is there like, what phase are you in right now? Are you in MVP?
So we
alpha
are
testing,
about
beta testing?
to launch our MVP solution. It'll be available for people to start participating in our design solution. Our platform is currently poised to start receiving the data, and we are actually able to start working on those conversions into those artificial intelligence solutions that have been anticipating. The metaverse and other solutions are being integrated as well. And as we keep developing and as we keep growing, we will continuously utilize our different investor relations and our different customer feedback to allow us to grow exponentially.
What would you say your title is at the business?
So currently, I'm the CEO of the Rooa platform. So that would be my title. I'm also the technology chairman of the company that is also creating our solution as well. So it allows us to sort of work in those different aspects. So I definitely do have sort of chairman aspects in regards to the creation of our solution.
Do you get in a lot of fights with yourself having those two roles?
That's definitely an interesting thing to say. So in regards to just making sure,
I mean, a lot of CTOs and a lot of CEOs, they butt heads, and you're both of those things. So,
yes.
Where are you in that?
So with the different hats that I wear at my corporation, allows us to sort of review the different aspects that allow us to create our current solution. And I would say that being able to communicate with the different consultants and the different people who are highly involved with our platform has allowed us to grow in that aspect.
How long have you been working on the current platform? You said COVID, like, so right around COVID time is when you had the idea, and then you started shortly after.
That was when we started doing our customer discovery, seeing if people are interested in our current solution. So around 2018, 2017 were when the original aspects of our current solution were sort of going into inception. Working with the Davidson team and our different investors have sort of allowed us to sort of create our solution and allow us to sort of be where we are today.
What customers?
I just was curious if you can expand on the Davidson team in terms of what it is, who they are and what they do.
So working with them allowed us to sort of create our initial solution, reviewing the different aspects of the platform. They are based in Pittsburgh. We use them for some of the design aspects of our current solution, allowing us to sort of catapult us into our different investor relation requirements, reviewing how we sort of integrate those AI aspects into the different technologies in the system that we're also looking to create as well, to allow individuals to interact directly with our entities.
A lot of people over the 148 episodes that we've done this or so have talked about customer discovery. And it's an interesting thing because I think depending on the individual, I think customer discovery can go very, very well for them. And I think sometimes they can take that data and it can go very, very bad for them. When you were going through the ICAP program, talking to the 40-ish plus different individuals that potentially could become customers, how do you trust that they are the right person and that they're giving you the right data? Or what are you doing in analyzing the data that you are getting provided so that you don't build something that no one cares about? Because I think a lot of people build something, they ask a lot of people, they seem like they're getting the right data, but at the end of the day, it really isn't going to move the needle and the person isn't going to do anything with it. So how do you take that information and make it worthwhile?
So I think the benefit of the ICAP program is that it allowed us to sort of figure out who our core customers were. And the benefit of creating our sort of platform is knowing that we do have a large marketing group. It's about 65% of the world's population. That's about 12 to 55, 60-year-olds who we are our target audience. And they make up, like I said, 65% of the world's population. you could throw a stone and find someone who would be interested in our platform. We were able to go out, communicate with different people who utilize social media, who utilize Amazon, who utilize eBay, who have Amazon legacies, who have cell phones, who are able to find ways to use our platform in those aspects.
I'm curious, like, who do you turn to for inspiration, for like in terms of whether it's reading, podcasts, or just some people that you follow? Who are the people that you look highly upon?
So I would say I wouldn't say I'm old fashioned in that aspect, but when I look at mentors and people who sort of inspire me, people like Martin Luther King, people like Donald Trump, people like Barack Obama, people who have large followings and people who are able to sort of create vast amounts of growth in regards to specific aspects in our daily life, or sort of the people who I have found as good mentors in regards to those aspects of our daily life. I've worked with a lot of people and a lot of consultants who have developed different systems and solutions that allow people to sort of grow in that aspect. People like Bill Gates, people like people like Bill Gates and their different aspects in regards to development of applications and technologies have sort of inspired me to sort of grow my systems as well.
So you may be the first person that I can think of that has worn a tie on this show. Tim and I typically wear a black t-shirt every single time. His is probably the SpaceX shirt. It's his Thursday Fervent Force Show outfit. You have a lot of style. It reminds me of one of my friends, Chris Tillett, who always had a nice style of wearing a suit no matter where I saw him. And I'm like, why are you wearing a suit right now? He goes, this is just my style. Like, is this you? Because I mean, the blue tie looks, I think it's a blue tie. I'm colorblind. Like, it's like the way you dress. It's very impressive. It's very unique for our show. What is the Ikeobi style, the outfit of the day, and how do you choose your wardrobe to look the way that you do as a founder of a business?
So the majority of my inspiration and my aspect come from my father. He's been a great inspiration to me in regards to not just style, but how I sort of live my life, how I sort of interact with people. And his style is my style, and that's that's something I would sort of say. I'm sort of a formal person who has I wouldn't say regulated aspects to myself, but that's sort of how I would describe my style.
Weren't expecting that question. I don't think so.
No, I was curious in terms of so as you're feeding your platform with the different personalities, different people, that kind of thing, is that all going to be that's going to be restricted use, I would assume, in terms of like I upload all my stuff and I dictate that only my wife and kids have access to that information because I was thinking that would be, I see that use case as being really, really cool. But then, yeah, as the more I hear you talk about and describe things, it'd be like, how crazy would it be? Like all of a sudden, going back to the whole simulation aspect, if people had like, they were able to tap, and now you have one metaverse where pick a leader is still leading, or another leader, you said Obama leading this metaverse, and then you had Trump still leading this metaverse. I mean, like that's crazy, right? I mean, it's just like
those are just social networks, Tim. Those already exist.
But I mean, yeah. So if you put thought into that, I'm assuming that you would control who.
So there are definitely different regulations that come into play with working with this sort of platform. GDPR, California data protection laws, EU protection laws are some of the things that we are integrating into our platform as well. And because I've worked with a lot of those business best practices and requirements, I feel that our platform will start paving a way for new data regulations, allowing people to regulate how those interactions come into play as well.
Well, even something as simple as Tim and I use a tool, an app that tracks like you're running or swimming or hiking or bicycle riding. Even the last year, they've taken it where people who are providing that data out have now said, "Oh no, I don't want you." And I think actually they don't do it at all. they don't show you your starting point because it might be too close to where you live, and they don't want that person to somehow get tracked back. I mean, it's crazy how you could start something and then it pulls back. Where, I mean, I don't really care if people know where I'm starting or stopping or something like that, but that's a big feature that they, I guess, developed recently, and it's similar to what you're talking about. How, well, no one's going to get access to this data. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Data
But
privacy and data protection laws are definitely essential to any sort of platform. And once we start utilizing this entity storage aspect, what it means to be a human being is going to be different. You're going to grow up differently. You're going to see the world differently. You're going to be able to review aspects of your essence a little bit more differently. And as we start collecting the data on this platform, as you start utilizing our metaverse and Web3 solution, you'll start understanding how those sort of data regulations come into play and are implemented on a daily basis.
Well, the thing that's interesting, like, as I think about this 10 years, 15 years from now, will people be able to control like the algorithm? I mean, personalities change over time. So like, can you go back and be like, I want wild and fun Zack, or do I want Zack when he's a little bit more chill and mellow? Or will you be able to control like with a slider kind of thing of I want more of this personality or more of that personality?
When the original inception of our application is going to try to make sure that people are their true selves. We want them to be their ideal personalities. We will allow them to collect as much data as they virtually see possible on our platform in regards to those specific applications on our MVP. But we will always emphasize that we want people to be their true selves, to be their ideal personalities. And whatever aspects that you don't feel make you your ideal personality is something that is going to be, that we will allow you to regulate on the platform as well. You might end up being your entity yourself after a couple of iterations of our platform. But always finding a way to be your best self is what we're thriving for.
slide that thing to the wild meter. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's fascinating stuff. Or I mean, if something happened, there was brain injury or something like that, or early onset dementia, those kind of things. It's like, hey, I want to go back to when everything was before that period of time.
Yes, the time period of collecting data will allow people to definitely find specific periods of time where they are particular in how they are in regards to growth and development expertises, and apply that to our sort of solution as well. But like I said, making sure people are their true selves, authentic selves, is what we're trying to create.
Over the years, I think when cell phones became smartphones and we had more access, I think people really got excited about it. And over the years, more apps and tools have been developed. And maybe there's a negative side of this now, where whether it be bullying, whether it be screen time being way too high, things associated more with negative stuff associated with phones. As you develop a tool, an asset to store and enhance our lives over the next however many decades, are you worried at all that the stuff that we've been using and developing is not going to be around in 10, 15, 20 years, and that maybe you're not building into the future the same way? Or what are your thoughts on just people having such negative thoughts around kind of the cell phone and kind of the examples that I was giving just a moment ago?
Technology has been a growing field for a very long time. We have gone through several iterations from how technology first started, from the inception of the wheel to what we currently have today, spaceships that could sort of stay in the sky for years and years on end. Spaceships are being built. So I think that as we grow as a society, there are definitely some ethical constraints to utilizing some of the solutions that have been created in regards to technology, cell phone usage, technology aspects of Alexa or the Apple HomePod are definitely subject to sort of conversation and such. But one thing that we like to sort of instigate and let people know that it is your choice. That is not something that is forced upon you. You might see other people utilizing that aspect and have that sort of fear of missing out aspect. But believe me, once you do find your sort of niche product or your niche solutions, I think the technology and the aspects of it will sort of start fading away. And our goal is to create a lot of silent technology that doesn't sort of interfere with your daily aspects and is specifically integrated into your current artificial development solutions.
How are you funding the project right now? Have you guys raised money? Are you looking to raise money? Are you bootstrapping? How's that going for you?
So it's a mixture of all three: investor funding, bootstrapping, and crowdsource funding. So we do have a lot of people who are interested in sort of being those first-time onboarded users, and to have that sort of confidence that they do have this entity storage platform that they can utilize when they do need to.
And if people want to sign up, do they just go to your website? Is that the best way that they can get in the queue for folks when you start bringing on users?
Yes. So our initial users, we are requesting them to sort of email us at roa@curbcoventures.com or follow me on Instagram at Ikeobi. You'll start receiving some updates in regards to our different steps once we do release some of the onboarding aspects, and when you can start utilizing our platform, you'll definitely be able to see those come through.
You're very insightful, thoughtful, and articulate in your answers, even though you have no idea what we're about to ask. I'm not going to ask anything crazy, at least not yet. Where do you get that stage presence? Where I look at Tim and I would both look at this as a performance, right? Where did you gain such a strong stage presence so that you can articulate thoughtful answers the way that you have been?
So from a very young age, I've always been in the spotlight. I've definitely had some aspects of sort of growth aspects, being the MVP of several sports teams, being able to sort of be on stage, being able to sort of communicate, working with C-level executives, working with different people from my family, and working with different growth aspects. So I would say I'm not entirely comfortable, but I've been in those environments enough that I would say it's a little bit easy for me to sort of communicate my ideas.
Yeah. So going back to earlier shows that Zack and I have had, we always talk about reps. And so it sounds like you've done lots and lots of reps to prepare you for times like this and for the future.
I have a great team. I have people who are always looking to strive for the best in regards to our different development expertises. They've been working on our platform. They've been working on the background. They've been working in different marketing aspects to sort of put together what our solution currently is and the different aspects that make Rooa what it is currently today. So I'm always grateful for their different development aspects and their expertise.
I appreciate you talking about your team having a very strong team. You support the team. I heard this quote once. I don't know what the quote is, but it's something along the lines of, you are going to be the one that loves your baby the most, and no one's ever going to love it at the same way that you do. So you, as the CEO, the top dog, are going to love this thing like it's everything to you. However, everyone, even if they are invested in it, is not going to have the same love and admiration for your baby. Have you ever heard of that mindset or thought process before? And how do you tackle that and keep a strong team knowing that they're never going to have the same amount of love for your baby that you do?
So in regards to sort of appreciation for the solutions we're trying to create, I think it's in regards to more how much do you want to use it? What makes it interesting to you? Why does the team feel it's relevant? And based off of our conversation and things we've discussed, I feel that the people who are directly involved with our solution, the people who are eager to sort of create the solution for other people, have found a sort of exciting community that they can sort of grow with and integrate into their daily lives.
I have this is always it's a fun segment that we've done several times. And I don't know the answer. So it's kind of a two-part question. Are you from this area? I don't know. How long have you been in Hampton Roads?
So actually, I'm from Nigeria originally. I was born and raised in Nigeria. I traveled around a lot. I'm actually in the area for some investment opportunities. I've definitely lived in different locations as well. So yeah.
And so, Zach, you know where I'm going with this. Like I'm just curious in terms of like what are the things that, what are the places that you like most about this area? Like is there a particular attraction or restaurant or food, or if you think Hampton Roads, the 757, what is it that comes top of mind first?
I think Virginia Beach is one of the most exciting places for me. Being able to visit that general area in regards to sort of the Washington, D.C. and Virginia Beach area, New York, a yacht club, makes me eager to live in this particular East Coast sort of place. So that's why I enjoy living in this area.
Because this is just something that we've continued to ask many guests, just because I think that so many people we have a hard time telling our story, and we're too close to it. And so having that outsider point of view and thought, it's always really, really insightful. Something I'm always interested in hearing.
What part of Virginia Beach do you love? Just the access to other places as well? Is there a specific place in Virginia Beach, or is there a hidden gem that you? So, for instance, I didn't know that there was the Navy statue.
The Navy SEAL.
Yeah, so there's on 41st Street, I think there's a Navy statue or something like that.
The Navy SEAL Memorial.
Navy SEAL Memorial. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Or maybe I did and just forgot, but who knows? So is there a specific place or a hidden gem that you like to go to in Virginia Beach?
So I think just the Virginia Beach specific area is definitely one of the most exciting places for me. I like being in the water. I love going yachting. I love being riding jet skis and such. So that's sort of one of the reasons why I enjoyed visiting and living in this particular area.
Well, it's crazy weather right now. We'll get to experience a few different seasons in the next couple of days, it looks like.
It's actually really warm. It's been quite warm for the past few days.
I think the temperature's about to drop out on us over the weekend again.
Let's say you had $10 million in 30 seconds to promote your business, a la the Super Bowl commercial style. What would Ikeobi pitch in that to portray the business that you are working on right now?
I would first off start by letting you know your friends are using this entity storage platform. You're missing out. You won't be able to store your interactional data. Your friends are living forever. I suggest you get on today.
There is a thing about FOMO, right?
Yes.
So have you heard of JOMO?
JOMO, please tell me more about JOMO.
Yeah.
JOMO is
the joy of missing out, right?
The joy of missing out. Yes. So the opposite, fear of missing out. Oh my gosh, what happens if I don't do this? Where the joy of missing out is, I'm so glad I don't have to do that. I think my sister told me that.
Yeah, there is a push on that. I've started to hear that more and more. So I'm curious, as we're rounding out and coming to a close, in 10 years' time, where do you see Rooa, and what's it doing?
So in 10 years' time, I see a complete integration with some of our company-wide technology. I see a lot of growth in regards to the human intellect, the human aspirations, and the health aspects of our population as well. I see a lot of financial benefits as to the people who are able to sort of utilize this to not just grow their expertise, but also utilize it to sort of find a well-being and a sort of safe place to sort of store their interactional information. So in the future, I see it as a company that hosts a lot of data, a company that is able to integrate those aspects into our artificial intelligence and machine learning solutions, and an application and a sort of company-wide solution that is able to also utilize our interactional technology as well.
What's something?
No, I was just going to say, Zach, that it's our goal. We want to in 10 years time on the Fervent 4 show. It would be awesome. We're looking for that first unicorn, the first $1 billion company that then when people have to go back into the archives and look to see where their first podcast appearance was or where they were when they were still in the MVP stage, it'll be really, really fun to see them refer back to the Fervent 4 show. And it'd be really cool if you were one of those companies.
Excellent. I would definitely really like that as well.
Is Drone Up a $1 billion business yet?
I don't know what they. I don't know what the terms were from the last round, but I mean, if they aren't already, then they certainly have to be knocking on that door.
Very, very excited. What's something, Ikeobi, we haven't talked about today that you want to talk about?
So I think just making sure people are excited and aware of some of the different programs that our system is offering. We are doing something called a data donor program. So if you are interested in being one of the first users of our solution, if you are interested in helping us with our machine learning algorithm, if you're interested in working directly with the team in regards to sort of algorithm research and machine learning research, feel free to email us below and sort of communicate with us directly and help us with our research. It'll allow us to sort of apply some benefits and discounts to you for the long term. We are actually giving away a 50% discount on your membership, and also a lifetime discount as well. So by being part of our data donor program, you will be able to sort of live and have that eternity aspect a little bit more affordable.
Wonderful. What's so funny?
It's always exciting to find people who are interested in our solution.
There you go. Love it.
Yeah. I just want Zack forever. Zack, you should do it.
Wild Zack, right? Not
Yeah, turn the dials back to dilly dilly.
You said Wild Zack style, or what was the other style? Boring mellow Zack?
Great. No, I don't know if I don't know. We'll go with Winefest. Winefest Zack.
Winefest Zack. I like Winefest Zack.
And that concludes today's episode. We appreciate your time of being here. Ikeobi, I look forward to meeting you in person at some point soon, and continued success, and looking forward to seeing you in 10 years to answer that question for us.
Right. So, we want to be on the guest list, whatever big party you throw when that time comes. Don't forget about us.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Talk soon.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.